What's up, everybody? It's your boy Showtimedr coming at you with the Liana guide. Couple people been asking for it. Got a lot of requests. I'm trying to get to them as quick as I can, guys. Got an off day, so I'm gonna try to hit at least 2 today. So, let's get to it. So, Liana, she starts off, she's a holy unit. She's actually a member of 3 factions, which is pretty good. 2 of them are pretty crazy. One of them's the protagonist, which, you know, most people don't play those. And then she's also a member of Legion, which is a very popular faction. And she happens to be a member of the Princess Alliance, which is another popular faction. Lots of good characters in here. So we're going to get into our skills here. Let's get into it. So, the popular build for Liana is Sister, Priest, Prophet. And then I'll show you the other 2 just to show you what you can get out of them. Oh, also one other thing I gotta show you from the other page. So her passive here, when you get her at first, at the end of her turn, removes 1 debuff from allies within 1 square around her and heals them by 1.5% her intelligence. This apparently, I was talking to Tinywell a little bit before I started playing the game. This apparently becomes really ridiculous with the later addition of gear. I'm not sure how, because I asked him about it, and he was like, well, it just happens. I don't remember how it happened. But so, as you can see here, as you upgrade it, the square range goes up, the int goes up, and then eventually when you get to 6-star, she starts removing 2 debuffs. Allies within 2 squares around her and heals them for 3 times her intelligence. Now, according to Tinywell, he told me that there's a point to where about 5 or 6 squares around her passive's going off later on. I don't know what's going to happen in 6 months. I guess we're going to have to see. But that apparently just makes her this walking goddess of just life. Just insanity there. So we'll go into the base build, which is going to be Sister, Priest, and Prophet. So here we go. So Sister, you start out with your basic guardsman. Only thing to note, he deals magic damage. Nothing super special. She gets the typical heal, which most healers get on their first class. So active skill, 5 times caster's intelligence. Dispels a debuff. Fairly standard for most healers. It's just going to be that much better on Liana because she has those bonus stat percentages from being an SSR right off. But one thing that almost nobody in the game, as far as I've seen, maybe there's 1 or 2 characters gets, is this assist skill. Again, allows 1 ally that has attacked to attack again, restores allies HP with at least HP 2 times caster's intelligence, so you get a little heal there on top of basically a free move. And I think the cooldown for this, I have to look, let's see if they have it in the other tree. Nope. Well, I know it has to have, I would assume it has a cooldown. Does it not have a cooldown? I mean, I do see it go off fairly often, but I guess no one knows. Well, if someone knows that offhand, let me know, but as far as I can tell, it doesn't have a cooldown, but I'm assuming it has at least like a 2-turn cooldown. So, but either way, super powerful skill again. Really good. Now we're going to get into Priest here. So Priest, you get upgraded Inquisition and Monk Troopers. So the things to note, any type of the Inquisition style characters, they're going to increase your base healing. Hero heal effects by 5%. That's just going to help you heal better. So if you really need to heal, make sure you're bringing the Inquisitors. If you're fighting against demons, though, you might want to bring the monks along. The attacks increase by 30% when battling against demons. Pretty strong for her. Now, her ability on this tree, nothing super dramatic. Windblade. Attacks a single enemy, dealing 1.5 times damage, but bonus against flyers. So for those pesky flyers that get close to her, you can swat them down pretty quickly. So now we're going to go into her Prophet tree. Now, you get an upgraded High Priest. Increases the healing effects 15%. And now whenever the soldier HP is above 80%, the defense is increased by 30%. A dramatic tankiness boost to Liana, as long as your troops are above 80% there. So that's really good. Gonna help, like, because she's gonna be the target of snipers, you know, really high mobility, like flyers, horse units, assassins, archers, etc. Anyone that can get a hold of her. So if you can have your troops take most of the hits, you definitely want to keep her up. And then the Exorcist, it's the same thing against Demon, but with the bonus of If you're attacking troops other than demons, your defense is increased by 30%. So this technically also brings up tankiness, but it's when you're attacking though. So Liana, she attacks a little bit, but not a ton. Abilities you're going to get here, Mass Protect, super awesome ability. Essentially, it's a big fat AoE, like a big 4 square across radius, actually 5 square across radius, and then 3 around. So horizontal, diagonal from whoever you're targeting. It's that square plus 2 squares on either side, and then just a little 3 box all around. So that's going to go ahead, increase defense 20%. They're immune to defense down, magic defense down, and cannot be healed for 2 turns. Very strong. And then Prayer, this is her AoE heal. Multiple troops, 4 times casters in. If you remember, her base heal has 5 times, so 4 times it's super strong for an AoE. And it restores 20% of HP after attacking. So that basically counts as like a regen. If you guys remember the regen effect, it's about a 10% after battle HP heal, so a 20% after battle HP heal. That's super strong when you consider it would stack with not only the HP of whoever you're fighting with, but it's also going to stack with bonus heal effects from gear or whatever buff might be on them. And then people who have like automatic resurrection on their troops, like a bunch of your undead units, they're going to get that and resurrect. You know, 15%'s the base for that normally. And it'll last for 2 turns, so this is just, okay, we're going into battle. You know, first turn, you could put up one or the other, depending on if you want mitigation more or regen more. Just a fantastic character. Wish I had her. I keep pulling for her. I'm going to keep pulling for her, but... So right now we got Bishop and Summoner. We'll go into those real quick before I get into what you should actually do for builds. So Bishop is going to get the Holy Cavalry and the Maid. Maid, as long as they're above 80%, they're dealing more damage. Holy Cavalry, good if you're fighting against Sword Troopers. Also, these guys, when battling against demons, they also get bonuses as well. So just a good all-around unit if you need somebody kind of tanky a little bit against the demons, and you're not necessarily looking to kill the demons like with the monks. And then she gets this gospel skill, so active skill, attack and defense of a single troop decreases by 20%. Last 2 turns, immune to debuffs. I think that's supposed to say increase. I would assume that's what that means. Anyways. Because gospel sounds more like a buff, so pretty sure that's an increase. So it's like, it's okay, you know. You usually have like faction buffs and other characters that can kind of fill that role. And then Summoner. So Summoner, they get the Elf and the Witch Troop, which the Elf, better in woods and mountains. Witch Troop, you know, a little bit more damage whenever they're at 100%, but that's not going to be for most of the battles, so they're kind of whatever in most cases to me, unless you specifically need the caster magic damage for some reason. But the cool thing is she gets Freeze Strike out of this. So Freeze Strike, for those who remember when I did my Imelda guide, damage bonus against Lancers. But what's weird about this, and I'm wondering if maybe the website just missed this again. In fact, let's see. Usually when you freeze, it reduces movement by 2 squares. So let me see if that's described in this one. Nope. Grenadier. Yeah, I think that's off too. Man, my kingdom for a website with updated abilities translated. Well, even if this doesn't have the movement debuff, possibly you'll want to run in PvP, although personally I wouldn't, I'd just get a caster to run it, but if you want more AoE death, I guess it's not such a terrible thing. But so that's why, in general though, you're going to want Liana as a healer, and you could pick up all the other stuff if you want, just for the masteries if nothing else, but you're going to want Liana as much of a healer as possible. So stats you want to buff, intelligence clearly, her defenses, her HP, and everything else is kind of gravy after that. But intelligence takes priority. Now as far as what skills you want to build with her, I would go Again for sure. Again should always be on her bar in my opinion. And then at that point you can go between, let's go to the end here, so Prayer or Mass Protect. Usually you're going to do one or the other, because you can probably, if you have a team, you could find someone else with Mass Protect. So you could have Liana cast Prayer, the other person casts Mass Protect, and then it's just an all-in for whatever you're trying to go and attack, and hopefully there's no Dispel that you're fighting against. So one of those, whichever one floats your boat. And then honestly, the other spell that I'd choose... God, it's tough with her. I'd probably just go the base heal, honestly, just to have 2 heals available. Because Windblade's nice, but you're not going to be fighting flyers all the time. You know, if you got a map with flyers, then maybe. Freeze Strike, once again, if it doesn't reduce movement, which I'm assuming it probably does, it's just not listed. But then again, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's Blizzard. Because this is... Oh, my fault. This is a single target. My bad, guys. Okay, I read it wrong. So this is the single target Freeze Strike, so bonus against Lancers. So in most cases, you're probably not going to have that on you either. I was thinking of Blizzard. So, there you go. I would go Prayer, Heal, and again, no matter what I'm doing, pretty much. And you got her passive going off at all times, so that's pretty strong. So now we're going to get into... Go ahead and queue it up. Gonna get into gear for her. Let me remove this picture so you guys can see. Alright guys, so as far as gear goes, let me get my list up. So for your weapons, there's a couple choices. You're gonna want something, in my opinion, that has bonus healing. So you got the Goddess's left hand here. Healing effects plus 3%. Initiating combat after battle grants a 50% chance to reduce enemies' movement by 2 blocks. So if she does happen to get sniped, the mobility decrease, considering Liana's on a horse, so she's going to get some bonus movement anyways. Mobility decrease might allow you to get away while your defender units come and either take out whatever's attacking her or block it off so that they can't attack her easily. That'd be pretty strong. And then your Mistletoe also has healing bonus effects. When initiating combat after battle, enemies' damage dealt, it decreases by 10%. That's just a static ability there, so that's pretty good. And then, let's see here. We got the Miracle Staff. AoE damage increases by 3% when dealing damage. I guess I shouldn't have put that one. Just kidding, guys. Never mind. Forget that one. So we got 5-4 is the Oliver Staff. When initiating combat after battle, grants a 25% chance to increase the enemy's damage taken by 10%. So she has to initiate combat for this to happen, though. So, but once again, the bonus healing effects there. So mostly you want the bonus healing effects. Although I will caveat the bonus heal thing. You don't want bonus healing effect when you have, say, her AoE, because it's 4 times her intelligence. If your AoE can full heal anybody on your team, including your tanks, then at that point you really have to start thinking more about her health, so defense, magic defense, HP, etc. But, I mean, bonus healing is never a bad thing in general, but if you're full healing and then another 500 health on top of it, you may want to bring it down a bit and increase her survivability. That's my recommendation for that. Now, as far as armor goes, a couple recommendations. The Death Robe, really good. I'd still rather give this to a regular, like a good caster, like a Melda, if I had the choice. But if you're going for her survivability, you know, you got the defense there, you got the HP. Crit is decreased by 20% when attacked. 15% chance to increase the enemy's damage taken by 20%. Lasts for 2 turns, so some pretty good effects on that. And then also a 2-star I will recommend, Alchemy Robe. When attacked, 25% chance to reduce the enemy's damage dealt by 20% last 2 turns. So if you happen to get that and you don't have anything else that's you consider better, those are both good choices. Now we'll get over to helmets now. So the Charon, HP and defense plus 2% after taking action, 25% chance to decrease damage dealt by 15% for 1 enemy within 3 blocks. So pretty good. Increase our HP and damage as you level that up. And then anytime you take an action, decrease a chance to take 1 enemy within 3 blocks down 15% on their damage, and that's just going to improve in percentages as it goes along there. Now, we also got the Soul Stealer headdress. Magic defense plus 2%. After taking action, 25% chance to deactivate active skills of 1 enemy within 3 blocks. So the Helms, it seems like most of them are like chance to buff, chance to debuff within 2 to 3 blocks most of the time. So that's just what the devs decide to do with this game. And then also the Tinyo's Headdress. HP plus 2%. After taking action, 50% chance to grant 1 random buff to an ally within 2 blocks. You know, she's going to be right up there in the thick of it. Just behind the front line most of the time, so... not a bad idea within 2 blocks to have a random buff on one of your teammates. Now, accessories, to be honest, there's a lot of good accessories for her. I'm not going to cover them all, but I'll cover the ones I think need to be mentioned. True Cross, healing effects plus 3% when battling against demons and holy units. Int, magic defense and defense increases by 10%. Well, she has those monk troopers that already buff her against holy, so that's just that much more. Then there's the Angel Feather. Most notable thing about the Angel Feather, immune to stun. You know, you don't want her stunned when you need a big heal or a big effect to go off. HP plus 2, healing effects plus 2. Pretty good stuff there. Now we got, and I'm gonna say this, just so people understand, because I see a lot of people like, how come you never mentioned Divine Boots? Okay, once again, Divine Boots actually would be good for her, because she's not technically a cavalry unit, even though she's riding on a horse. You get that extra defense, you get that extra mobility, but quite honestly, guys, this item's good on anybody. So, even when I don't mention this item's good for everybody that's not a cavalry or flyer unit. Like, there's actually that one archer, I forget his name, but he's on a horse, but he's considered an archer. So you can give this to him and make his range even more ridiculous, which is pretty good, so... And then the Goddess tier, which is actually probably going to be the best in slot, I would imagine, for Liana. Healing effects plus 5%, if you remember everything else started out at like plus 3%. After taking an action, dispels 1 debuff for 1 nearby ally with healing effects. This also gives healing effects. I forgot I'm in the way there. 2 blocks. So maybe, I wonder if this is what he meant. I wonder if this stacks with his bonus healing effects. It might be. I'd love to see someone test this out, but I kind of doubt it. But maybe that'll be the type of thing we'll have to look for in the future. But anyways, guys, so that's your gear for Liana. And then as far as what to buff, or excuse me, what to enchant her with. Go ahead and get to it right here. So, where is it? Might be healer, actually. Here it is. So, Crystal, especially early game. Defense, magic defense plus 5%. Heals done is increased by 20%. So, that's really good for her until you get to the point, like I was saying, where her heal is so big that maybe you could consider gearing her up for something else. Now, after that, though, if your heals ever get too big, which is, you know, never a terrible thing, it's your choice at that point of whichever one of these survivability ones you want. Maybe you want the freeze one. Maybe you want the one that's going to heal her whenever she goes under 50% by 15% health, etc. The choice is yours, honestly, because most people don't do offensive stuff with her. And that's pretty much your Liana guide, guys. So, if you got that character, super good, super strong, super powerful. Real quick though, I wanted to show you guys something I thought was funny. I don't know if these skins are in the game yet. See if I can get to it here. But if not, she actually has some badass skins coming, because there's her one, looks like kind of like the summer Liana. Yeah, that's like the summer fan with the watermelon. Not sure about the shoes, but whatever. But then this one, I was like, ooh, waifu, look at her. I always like the kind of cherry blossom festival, a little bit samurai-ish art stuff. And then that's what she used to look like in the old game, which is, you know, back in the day, I'm sure Sega Genesis or whatever it was on back in the day. Anyhow, but that's it, guys, so yeah. So I guess I'll do my promo now. So yo, I'm Showtime Doctor, Showtime DR. You found my YouTube. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Also, check out the links in the notes. There'll be a link to both of these wikis, as well as my Discord, my Twitch. About to go stream this game in a little bit, you know, on my Twitch and then my Discord. You know, we got tab for this game, tab for some other games, good community in there. all anime heads, etc. So come on in, BOP, ask questions, do whatever it takes. And I'll catch you guys later on. So hope you have a good day. Peace.